on, Dad.
Liv, do you remember this?
Let me see.
When I found you in the street after I'd been trick-or-treating, you nearly gave me the scare of my life. I found you and obviously I recognised you. I will show Agnes.
Oh my God.
And you had a pole, what's it called, pole dance?
Oh,
a pole,
yes.
and then we came back to yours and we were trying to do pole dancing. It was a great fun evening.
There was a time when Martin invited us round to a barbecue. Unfortunately, Martin was not quite on this planet. He decided to cook the stuff in, was it meths, was it? Methylated spirits?
Well, it was barbecue fuel and it wasn't really...
It was barbecue fuel, it was disgusting. He come back in, fell asleep. We'd had a big chocolate cake which we cut his bit off, he didn't drink it. He fell asleep, it was sound though. We was watching the telly, Sue and I, no one else there, and then all of a sudden he just jumps up and he went, "Where's my chocolate cake?" And we've left it like that forever. So that's just one example of his madness.
I remember a time when I was really young and firm, when I was about 19 in the office in Gravesend, and we was in there doing our work, typing away, and then we heard this massive vibration. And we all looked out the window and there's this massive helicopter with Martin in the seat looking at us waving, and we was like, what the hell? I can tell you another story where we was in the office. I don't know if you was there that day, and there was a motorbike going up and down. Anyway, I don't know whether Martin knew the guy on the bike or not, but next minute you got Martin suited and booted, riding this bike, going mental up and down the estate. And that's how I remember Martin, my boss.
When I first met Livia, I went to her house because I did ask her to make a food plan for me to get rid of my gut. I thought, God, she's got a lovely figure. And I kept thinking, she's got very good, very perfect boobs. I was thinking, she's got perfect boobs. And then I couldn't help myself asking on my way out, Livia, are they yours? She went, of course not. And that was a great moment, I loved it. And the other thing about Livia, she used to wear a very high leather boots, high heels, high leather, and she looked like almost dominatrix. And she was very sexy lady. I call them fuck me boots. And she wore them very well.
The thing that comes to mind though is my first experience of a spray tan, before a photo shoot that I did with Livia. And it was at her house, and they had this tent inside her house that we had to stand inside, and I walked in and all the other girls were there and they were all stark naked in having their spray tan done, and I was just like, oh my God, I've got to get completely naked in front of all these people. Anyway, it was fine. Yeah, you have to put cling film on the toilet so that you don't stain the toilet seat, because otherwise it's orange and it's very hard to get off.
I met Livia through Instagram. We were featured on the same Instagram account. 40 is the new 30 fit. And then we ended up becoming friends, and I went over to visit her in England, went to a meeting of some sort, and then started working out more, and then somehow she tricked me into competing at the UFE European Championships in London. I wasn't going to do it, but somehow she convinced me I could do it. And that's a little bit like how Livia is. She is empowering, and she supports you, and she's there for you. So I'm happy she's my friend.
Hi Livia and Martin. I'm very pleased to be here to celebrate Martin's Day, your day, with Sam this time. Livia, I've known you for a bit over 6 years now, got me into the fitness and the training. I appreciate that a lot. It has really shaped who I am today. And we keep meeting up. You living abroad now, traveling the world. You always have time for us, and it means the world to me. Coming here today was one of the highlights so far this year and doing the photo shoot with you yesterday. Thanks for being part of my life, and thank you for letting me be part of yours. Cheers.
We did the wedding for Livia and Martin 3 years ago, and I absolutely loved it because it was very unique. It was all blue hues, and yeah, absolutely I was blown away to be able to do something very special, something very different for them. So
you're wearing the same sort of blue today.
Yes, I am, very similar. Blue hues of blues. Thank you, Martin and Olivia. Livia. Don't catch them.
I met Liv when I was fat, and I was following her on Facebook and got involved in her detox program, and so I did that with her for a month, and then just through doing that we became really good friends, ended up working together. I ended up copywriting for her amazing business, and we were friends. But what was really interesting is that this was all online, and we worked together online for years, and then COVID happened, so we couldn't physically meet up. And then she met Martin, and I knew about her meeting this wonderful man, and she invited me to her wedding. And I think it was just before her wedding that I met her at Martin's house in Tunbridge Wells, and it was the very first time I'd actually ever seen her in real life. So we'd actually been friends for a couple of years before it was in real life, and the rest is history. We've been friends ever since.
Hi, I'm Katie, and first of all, happy birthday to Martin. This is going to be an amazing year for you. You're with the most amazing woman in the whole world, Livia, who we all love and adore. She is gorgeous, she's inspirational, and you together will have the most amazing life, having fun, exploring the world, and just being in love with each other. So really, it's about you two, and I'm just so pleased to know you both and to call you a friend.
Thank you for inviting us here today. And Liv, you have changed my life in many ways, and you know that because I tell you all the time. And I'm here with Bess.
From the US. Would you know?
Who are now friends, and we've done Salt and Pepper Push It on the beach because of you, Liv. So thank you, and cheers.
Beth from US, as you know, Liv, and just want to say from all of us here, happy birthday, Martin. As I have mentioned over and over again, you have been a life changer for me, Liv. You are my sunshine, and my husband appreciates that very much as well. He's newly retired from the fire department as the chief. We're both, and really grateful to be here and to celebrate Martin's big birthday. 59 forever, right, Martin?
So Liv and I did a conference together all day for skincare, makeup, wellness, and there was an event where we had to, we were being filmed, and we were both angels like this together, and I'll find the footage for you, but that was me and Liv doing this. Can you imagine her? She was fantastic, just being a little angel, so she is my angel.
Hey Livy, we have known each other since a lifetime, since all your kids have grown up and before. It's been a pleasure knowing you and all the stuff that you and I have gone through, and I'm so chuffed that you met Martin, and he's the love of your life, and you are so happy. I can see it in both of you. So here's to you, here's to your gorgeous kids, here's to the life that you are creating, the both of you together, and I wish you both the best wishes in the world, and I'm so happy to be here tonight, so here's to you guys.
I met Livia for the first time 18 years ago. She was walking down George Street after a competition show, and she had little tiny ripped jeans on and a cropped t-shirt, and just looked like the most awesome woman I've ever seen. Blew me away, and she said, I need a makeup artist, and I've been a makeup artist ever since, worked on probably most shows she's ever done, and I've trained with her, and she's kept me looking as fabulous as she feels and is. So I love her, I love her, I love her husband, and I'm so happy for her.
I went to school with Liv at Sylvia Young's, and last year, 3 years ago, I married Martin and Livia, and because that's another thing I do, I'm a celebrant. And no, it's lovely to be here today to celebrate Martin's birthday, because he's...
Any story from school?
Oh, I don't know, I can't. Oh, I'd have to kill you to tell you those.
I was looking for a good trainer when I was like super heavy and super ill. And I did a long list, then I did a short list, and then I interviewed 3, and Livia was the best. Yeah. And now we are friends, and she actually brought me back to life. So I really like her. And Martin.
Looking at you now, I'm pretty strong.
I know, look at her, she's incredible. And Martin, I'm very happy that he's making our Livia very content, and I'm very grateful for that. And Martin and my son actually got on like a house on fire when we went to visit them in Spain. And my son just went and hugged him, and it was immediate. They liked each other. He was like that. I suppose now if he sees Martin again, he's going to be more or less like this. So let's see how he gets the hug this time. Happy birthday, Martin, and thank you, Livia, for everything. You both are wonderful.
I met Liv actually through Lisbeth, who was talking about weight loss, and she said, "Oh, I know this bodybuilder." I went, "No, I don't want a body like a bodybuilder." And then she showed me a picture of Liv, and I was like, "Oh no, I would like a body like that." So then I started going to her she was a PT. And then we had lockdown, and she started doing the Zoom classes every day, and it just carried me through lockdown. It was amazing, and then we've been friends ever since. I've carried on doing her Zooms and see her when she comes over to the UK, and we stay in touch, and it's just wonderful. She's a sweet, kind, lovely person. So I knew her pre-Martin and now with Martin, and it's just so lovely seeing her happy and content with him. Yeah.
My mum and Martin have been absolutely amazing. I mean, very supportive, very caring, both of them. I mean, Mum has been for 23 years now, and Martin has for 3 years now, so I think they've been an absolutely perfect match. Can't think of a better individual that kind of just matches with my mum, and yeah, very thankful that they've crossed paths, and now it's 3 years, and I'm sure there's many more to come.
Are you following the fitness path of your mum?
Yes. So she's made sure I keep on top of my protein, and yeah, she made sure I've hit the gym from a very early age, which yeah, she's obviously very passionate about, and it's definitely rubbed off on me. I think out of their 3 kids, I think yeah, it's probably rubbed off on me the most. But no, yeah, she's inspired me in that sense, and yeah, I think Martin's offered some great inspiration and great role modelling in another sense, because I'm very interested in kind of finance, corporate, all of that world. So it's kind of the best of both worlds has come together in their marriage. So no, yeah. Very, very happy and thankful that they found each other. And no, yeah, I'm just excited for the future for them, to be honest.
How's the broccoli diet going?
Yeah, lots of broccoli, so it's lots of steamed vegetables, which isn't the most flavoursome, but I'm sure in about 30 years' time I'll be thanking my mum that she gave me the advice that she did when I was 15, 20 years old.
Oh, I met Livia through my lovely wife Margaret, who used to train with Livia, and Livia sort of did wonderful things.
My equally lovely wife, I met Livia through her, and I joined her with some training as well. So Livia was my trainer for a couple of years.
I think she was quite a tough taskmaster, wasn't she?
Very tough, yes. She knew exactly what she was doing, and led me quite a merry dance sometimes in the gym, but always felt very valued and understood by her, so very keen to thank her for everything she did for me. The amount I learned from her was huge, and I know Frances has learned a lot from her as well.
I was always too scared to train because she'd put Margaret through the paces, and I think I was just too much of a coward.
I met Liv through Margaret from the school, children at school, and Margaret thought it might be a good idea to do some workouts for Liv.
So we did. So we trained together for many, many years, and then we, due to commitments and other things, separated our training and continued at different points with Liv. And really, she is the reason we're just as glamorous today as we were yesterday, I'm afraid.
But also, we have to say, she is amazing.
Yeah, no, she's very
good. But
good.
she split us
Very
up
good.
because she was so serious about the workouts that she said we were talking too much.
Too much, yeah. But, and it
and we
worked.
didn't care enough. We cared about talking. So, but she's stuck with us, and now I talk to other people about Livia and how incredible she is.
And even though we're not training with her because she's moved and other things have changed, but that principle she gave us right at the beginning has stayed with us. If we see anything that's bad, we walk away.
Yeah. But good luck, Martin, because you're in it for the long haul.
Yes, and broccoli is good for you. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're great. They're great. And of course, we were delighted when she told us about Martin. We just knew it was the right fit.
And they are so right together.
Yeah,
They're
we
so
did.
right together.
Yeah. And actually, through Livia, we've all remained friends. And even though Francis has moved away, we're still great friends till today.
Great
but I've got to
friends.
make her see us more, you see, because Brighton's not that far from London.
And
All
Livia.
right. Yeah.
I actually think we met because I did an advert for training in makeup.
Right.
Yeah, so it was Livia came forward and I did her eyebrows for her. She wasn't.
You met through eyebrows?
Yeah, definitely.
But you kept in touch for 16 years. So
Yeah. And yeah, I just love her, I love her to bits. She's great, great girl. And then when she met Martin, I found out all about that. And I just couldn't happen to a nicer person.
Hello, Martin. This is for you. Happy 70th, all the way from Texas.
Birthday.
Happy
and
birthday.
A wonderful time together. You are great.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for all being here today to help me celebrate a slightly inconvenient milestone, my 70th birthday, and a much more joyful one, 3 years of marriage to Livia, the amazing woman who somehow agreed to be my wife. Livia originally sold me on the idea that today was about celebrating with friends and family 10 wonderful years of marriage. Sorry, I forget. It's 3 wonderful years of marriage. I thought, lovely idea, darling. Then came the venue quote, the caterer quote, the florist quote, then the quotes for the band, photographer, drone operator, mini golf, clay pigeon shooting, etc. As the budget kept increasing with Livia's must-haves, she came up with a cunning plan. She eventually broke it to me gently. This is your 70th birthday party. As it's a milestone birthday, it requires a significant event with a correspondingly large budget. I replied, but it's my birthday in June. And she said, not anymore it isn't. So yes, I'm 70 in a few months' time, according to my birth certificate. Getting here is a bit like realizing your car's warranty just expired. But Livia is ensuring I'm on a long, extended warranty on a strict, healthy diet, which is a far cry from the diet I had for 15 wild years after my divorce, which was mostly ready meals, but not just any ready meals, M&S ready meals, washed down with heroic amounts of champagne. Honestly, more bubbles than a Formula One podium. Now, thanks to Livia, I get a Radox health check every 6 months. And according to Radox Health, my metabolic age is 54. Also thanks to Livia, it's all seeds and nuts and broccoli, oh God, broccoli every day, and kale in more ways than you'd believe. Luckily for me, Livia keeps me young, also slightly breathless, often confused, and occasionally over budget, but young. 3 years of marriage might not sound like a long time, but when you find the right person, someone who just fits, it feels like you've been together forever, in the best possible way. With Livia, it's not just a good match, it's a perfectly organized one. I'm now part of a system, filed, folded, and categorized, probably under work in progress. Many of you know we met through dating agencies who eventually put us together out of sheer exhaustion. I think the conversation went like this: put these 2 picky weirdos in touch. If nothing else, they'll confuse each other into submission. But from the moment we zoomed and swooned, I knew something special had begun. Due to COVID and being in separate countries, we talked endlessly for months, laughed constantly. When we eventually met in person, it was like the universe sighed and said, finally. Since then,
We've barely spent a day apart and had some incredible adventures together. Now, Livia, where do I begin? You are the most organised, generous, loving force of nature I've ever met. You are my best friend, my intrepid adventure companion, provided we stay in 5-star hotels, and the woman who convinced me that going gluten-free could be romantic. You've changed my life, though my bank manager would probably prefer you changed it back. But seriously, you've made me a better man. And I say that knowing I was already spectacular to begin with. You have an incredible heart. I see it in the way you care for your family, how fiercely you protect those who you love, and in your unwavering belief in making things better. From a child's future to the correct angle of a photo shoot pose. Every day with you is filled with laughter, endearing connection, and occasional gentle correction about my rarish, unauthorised alcohol consumption on a weekday. To all of you who've travelled from near and far, thank you for being here. This gathering means the world to us. And of course, there are people who couldn't be here today, some because of distance or commitment, others because they live on in our memories. To my children, Jason and Mandy, and my beautiful grandchildren, Luca, Phoebe, and Thea, thank you for the joy you bring to my life. To Livia's incredible children, Oscar and Rose, who are here today, and Imogen, travelling in Asia. Thank you for not just accepting me, but for including me in your lives with warmth, wit, and the occasional raised eyebrow. You've challenged me, inspired me, and educated me, sometimes all in one conversation. It's been a real privilege to get to know you, and an even greater one to be part of your family. To my in-laws, Ed and Ursula, I won the in-law lottery. There you are. Ursula, you're the mother-in-law in every man dreams of. No, really, I had that dream. We were on a yacht. Mummy, you were making cocktails. Ed was singing karaoke. Livia was feeding us McDonald's. It was weird, but wonderful. So here we are, 70 years young, 3 wonderful years married, and surrounded by all of you, the people we love most. I've been many things in my life: a father, a friend, a businessman, a part-time dance floor hazard. But nothing has brought me more joy than being Livia's husband. And if I could make one birthday wish, it would be this: that we all keep living well, laughing often, and staying just healthy enough to outdance our grandchildren, or at least keep pace until the broccoli kicks in. To Livia, for love, for laughter, and for the next great adventure.
So, look, what you guys were talking about for, during the lockdown on the Zoom call?
Oh gosh, what were we talking about? We were talking about love, about passion, about life, about travel, about kids, about family. I mean, that's what you did in lockdown, right? Just spoke about everything that you really wanted, and lockdown gave you time to think about who you wanted to be with, who you wanted to meet. If your relationship failed, what would you look for? And it gave us space to understand each other too, understand what Martin needs, he understands what Livia needs, and when we met up, it was just plain sailing. It was just amazing. And it's been like that ever since. It's just been a bit of a fairy tale. Yeah, it has. Fairy tales come true.
Do you remember the first day you actually first met in person?
Yes.
And how was it? Where you go like I was expecting you to be taller or something?
No, luckily, because he's a good height, good stature. He came up behind me on the path, and I wasn't sure where he was. I knew he'd parked his car, and I was walking down towards the restaurant, and he came behind me and he swooped me off my feet. And we had a mad, passionate kiss. It was lovely.
In his speech, he was talking a lot about bank statement since he met you.
It doesn't mean that. So we have a lot in common. We don't like shopping for clothes, shoes, jewellery, bags, all the pretentious stuff that doesn't really matter. But what we do like is spending time together. He likes looking at properties, so we look at properties. So he's introduced me to a different world, different way of thinking in a new world that's quite exciting, and it's not necessarily about the material stuff. So, but he likes his cars, so I know a lot more about cars than I ever have done. So I now know they have engines and they have different names like X's and M's and I's on there. And if it's a Sport I-50, for example, it means it's super, super, super souped up as opposed to just a normal plain car, if you see what I mean. What else have I learned? To be patient, never to give the game away to other people, always keep your friends really close to you because otherwise they fade away. Drop people that don't respond or people who don't really respect you. It's not something you should follow. So that's a bit serious, isn't it? But it's true though, because I always used to think, well, everyone needs to be loved, but not everyone does want to be loved. So there you go. I've learned to toughen up a little bit. Yeah, I think I've learned to toughen up a little bit. I don't know, I think I'm more aware of who to avoid now and who to keep close.